For 4 consecutive years, Kauto Star made Kempton his own, but the hugely popular 11-year-old was put in his place by the younger Long Run last season, both in the King George and the Gold Cup. The roles were reversed at Haydock in the Betfair Chase last month though, prompting connections to give Kauto one more shot at the King George.
We felt really there was no reason why he shouldn't run. I mean, he loves the track, he's a 3-mile specialist round there, and always like a challenge, and we've beaten Long Run once and we can do it again.
But he's bounced back from that run incredibly well. Had a couple of weeks easy, and when I say easy, he was still cantering every day. Did exactly the same work. Him and Mastermind had done everything since they both won that day at Haydock and Ascot. And this last week he's done a week of really hard graft, which he was doing before Haydock, and he's been thriving on it. And he worked great Saturday morning, and Head Lad who rides him every day said to me last night, he's in such a good place with himself at the moment, you've got to run him if you want to run him. If we don't run him, we've got to let him off now and give him a break before Cheltenham. So we just thought, why not? He's won the race 4 times, he's second favourite, we'll let him go.
It's always terrible coming second, but I actually thought Kauto ran an absolutely brilliant race, and Ruby rode him with the skills that we've all got accustomed to from Ruby. He was obviously prepared and super fit for the day, and which Paul Nicholls has stated several times. So I hate coming second, but that was the dress rehearsal. What we want to win is the King George and the Gold Cup, and I was thrilled that he actually beat a lot of very good young horses who were behind him. And going into the race, Kauto Star was not second favourite or third favourite. It was all about Weird Al and Time for Rupert and Diamond Harry, and so they all finished behind. So I was pleased about that. I was disappointed to get beaten by Kauto Star, but he has now won 14 Grade 1s and is an outstanding horse on those flat 3 miles.
And a lot has been made about Kauto Star's fitness since the Betfair, saying he was perhaps sharper than Long Run. How much do you think Long Run will improve for Kempton?
Well, last year he in the Paddy Power Gold Cup, he went in off a handicap rating of 158. Came a very disappointing third. The handicapper said that wasn't that disappointing, put him up to 162, and he won the Gold Cup, and the handicapper said that was a performance at 182. This year he said, well, that was not quite what we expected from him, but I put him in at 166. They're saying, well, he's 4 pounds better this year, and he's going to run to 186. He's going to take a lot of catching.
Any horse who's had a run is bound to be that much fitter, so he's not going to be any less fit than he was. Just I felt that day that I needed to have him bang on his best, because some of the others may not be, and it paid off. It was a Grade 1, and he did it well, but he's very fit now and very well. It's a different track, as we know, it's right-handed and it's a bit sharper, which I'm not sure that plays to his strengths as much now as it may have done when he was younger. So in a lot of ways it might be a home advantage for Long Run, but he's in good order, and yeah, we're looking forward to running him now.
And speaking to Nicky Henderson a short while ago, he said he thought perhaps Kauto Star wasn't at his best last season, and you've got him back to his best this time.
I don't think he was right. I don't know why he was making a noise. He bled a little bit after Kempton. I'd say that he did run a really good race in the Gold Cup when he was a little bit free, and of course Denman didn't help him in the race by taking him on so far out, but that's the nature of the race. And Haydock, I'd say he was probably as good as he's been for the last 2 or 3 years.
Masterminded, shaken up for Daryl Jacob. In second place is Summersby.
It's not just about Kauto Star for Paul Nicholls and Clive Smith. Also set to line up for connections on Boxing Day is 8-time Grade 1 winner Masterminded.
We know that Masterminded is a terrific horse himself, and on his day he can produce some absolutely stunning performances. The 2-mile champion chase, which he won first time by 19 lengths or so, and also the Mellin this year was another outstanding one. I don't know. I think it's going to be a very interesting race, and he could well cause an incredible surprise.
Yeah, I trained him with the idea of each run progressing him, which it's done, and having him hopefully at his very, very best on Boxing Day. Right-handed, flat track, couldn't want for better. 3 miles is a bit of an unknown, but I think he'll get it. I think he idled in front at Ascot the last day, which is something he was doing a little bit last year. So if he stays, he's a big player.
I was going to say, tactically, having Kauto Star in the race, does that make it a little bit tricky with Mastermind perhaps not a confirmed stayer, Kauto Star wanting a true test?
No, I think he'll either stay or he won't, and he's got a load of speed, so he'll be able to just stalk round. The only time you'll know is from like the back of the second last home with a little bit of Zertiup, who didn't really get the trip, who looked the winner at one time, but he was a true 2-miler. Masters won over 2.5, 3 times. Looked very good at Aintree last year when he beat Albertus Run and Co. over a trip. I think he really has got a big chance.
He goes up the hill with Kauto Star every morning. I mean, Kauto needs a very strong horse with him to get the best out of him, and Mastermind is the chosen one, and they have obviously great runs together up there. But I'm not necessarily. Kauto Star may not necessarily take all the running. Ruby will judge it accordingly and what he thinks is going to happen. There will be one making the pace in the race. We're not quite sure who might make the pace, but if there isn't one, it'll be Kauto will probably take it up.
Looking at your pair, if you were to win the race, I'm sensing you'd think it would more likely be with Kauto Star.
Well, I've asked that question of Paul, who would he really think in a tight finish? And we do believe that Kauto would be able to stay the better, because obviously he can do 3.25 miles, in the Gold Cup distance. But that may make a difference, but Mastermind is a very accomplished jumper, and when he's neat and quick over his jumps, he takes some beating, so he might be just a bit too quick for Kauto in the end, but honestly, I won't mind who wins. If either of them can win, I'd be thrilled to bits.
Well, Kauto Star is the outstanding horse. There are two. I mean, he is a 14-time Grade 1 winner, and he's won 4 around Kempton over 3 miles, and he's won 4 around Haydock over 3 miles. So I would say a flat 3 miles is absolutely his prime trip, and he's the only horse who's ever won those 8 Grade 1s and over 3 miles and 4 of each of those 2. So he appears to be the obvious candidate. The betting makes him second favourite. What you can't tell is when a horse is 11 years old and rising 12 about 3 days after the race, whether he's going to bounce back and put another startling performance in, or whether it's going to be more like when he went to Punchestown after the Gold Cup and just performed way below his performance in the Gold Cup. So it's a bit of an unknown. And the other big unknown is Mastermind, who's the other multiple Grade 1 winner, but only over 2 miles and 2.5, and whether he'll stay 3 as he's got older. He's never been tried over 3. We don't know. He's a very close third favourite at 5-1. So there's plenty of unknowns. That's what makes the game so unbelievably exciting and tricky.
So with the big race fast approaching, this is how the market looks. Reigning champ Long Run is a top price 6-4 favourite, while Kauto Star is at 9-2 and Masterminded at 5-1. Cheltenham Festival winner Captain Chris is next best at 8-1 and it's 12's bar. If you want to back any of these, you can bet direct through the race cards on racingpost.com or on the move using our free mobile app.